Hey, this is Tanya Younts, and I am doing a video blog this month, or a vlog, if you will. I wanted to talk about something that's been coming up lately with my clients, and that is this frustration between, what they can and can't change in each other to make the relationship work. We all come to our relationship as individuals, obviously, and we want to preserve as much of that individualism as we can while still being connected in some way. And there are certain things that will hinder a couple from getting along better. So the question to them is, you know, how much can we change in each other in order to get along better? And how much do I need to just sort of withstand or bear? And this is the topic of the vlog, actually, is when and how are you supposed to endure or absorb? There are a lot of words that come to my mind, like absorbing and tolerating or bearing some discomfort in your relationship. At what point do you say, enough's enough, I'm out of here, this is not working for me? Um, on a scale of 1 to 10, let's say, somebody's 10 could be somebody else's 5. You hear about a lot of couples who've been married for 30 years and they fight like cats and dogs, or they have nothing in common, or they act more like roommates than they do husband and wife, yet they stay together. It's not so bad that they want to end the marriage. So the scale is a very subjective one. And it's interesting to me as a therapist to work with clients to help them identify what that scale is. It's very subjective. And what I usually say to people is how important it is to identify what your non-negotiables are. What are you willing to die on the sword for? What battles are you willing to fight? When is that threshold being abused, or when is that threshold crossed? And then when do you have that conversation with your spouse to say, hey, you know what? This really is not working for me. And if you and I can't change this, then I need to end this relationship because it is really that bad. So what's that bad? What is that bad for you? And how do you take care of that? How do you communicate that to your spouse? Let's say, for example, your spouse has some, I don't know, really crazy habits, like they don't shower every day, they smell bad, or they have bad table manners. Let's say they're rude to your family. Let's say they ignore your kids if it's in a step parenting situation, or let's say they don't make a lot of money. Um, there are a lot of things that you would have to deal with. Say they have an anger issue, or they drink a little too much. Maybe not to the point where they're alcoholics necessarily, but you just notice that they rely on alcohol too much. There are a lot of things, and it makes you unhappy over a period of time. There develops this sense of quiet resentment that is like kind of what I say, cooking the frog, it's little by little before the frog knows that it's boiled. It happens very slowly, very subtly, until you just don't feel anything anymore. And so it's very, very important to be able to identify it ahead of time so that you can develop the communication skills with your partner to, again, to identify when you're unhappy, what it is that's making you unhappy, and what components of it are you going to have to, A, live with and be able to endure. Are you going to be able to do that? Or B, learn how to make some changes. Now, if it is B and you're going to be making some changes, then you have to know, both on both parties, that there is a learning curve. And just like with any new behavior that you're learning, it will take time. So this nagging behavior, whatever it is that you've been enduring maybe for too long in your mind, if it's not fixed overnight, or even if it's not fixed in a month or two, you may be thinking that throwing in the towel. But it's important to check in on a regular basis when you're in any kind of learning curve mode, let's say. Let's say a couple is working on being more honest with each other. So I've given them this assignment to have a weekly talk or get together. One of my clients calls it a State of the Union. Whatever you want to call it, it's a relationship meeting, sort of, to take the pulse and the vital signs of how things are going. And you review what happened this past week. What I want to say usually is that you layer it, that you give positives and thanks for what you noticed each other doing well over the week. Then you get to things that are concerning you or worrying you or that didn't work or maybe even pissed you off, and you work on that, and then the ending should always be I love you because. And one of the I love you becauses should be I love you because you're here talking to me about this and that you're not blowing this off, that this is important enough to you that we're actually sitting here talking about it. So if you have weekly meetings and if you check in on this behavior learning curve on a regular basis, I guarantee it's like working out at a gym. If you go consistently and you are exercising certain muscles that are weak, over time those muscles will become stronger. That's sort of the analogy here, is that you need to exercise a muscle that is not strong right now, like the honesty factor. And it'll be hard, just like workouts can be hard, right? They'll kick your butt and you'll feel exhausted, or you'll feel pain the next day and have to take ibuprofen. There may be, stings that your partner will give you in a conversation that are honest, but things that you need to hear and you need to withstand because it's for the greater good of improving your relationship. So that's just an example of something that I've been working on, and I've been, really helping people try to understand in a way that it is not an immediate realization, first of all, what it is that needs to be changed. It's something that you have to come to terms with. Can I bear this? Can I put up with this? And know that the larger rewards of this relationship are so much, more fulfilling than having to deal with this one thing. Or is it something, again, that I'm willing to go on the map for, to really attack and need to learn these skills? So that's where I come in. That's where I help devise some sort of exercise plan, so to speak, and then really help people maintain that. It's easy to let it go. It's easy to forget to have those weekly conversations. Life gets busy. It gets put on the back shelf. It doesn't seem as important. But really, it is important. It is for the nurturing of your relationship. And if it's something that you value enough, it's something that you should pay attention to. Again, going back to the gym analogy, if your physical health is worth it to you, you will go to the gym, or you will go to the whatever, take the walk outside, or get on your bike, or whatever it is that you choose to do, because the greater good is at stake here. You are willing to go the extra mile because it's that the means justify the end. Is that how you say it? Yeah. So anyway, that's sort of my blog for this month. It's something for you to think about. What are the things in my relationship that I'm willing to deal with? They're not so bad. They're on a level maybe 5 out of 1 to 10. I could deal with it. And then what are the things that are maybe 7s and above that you need to have a conversation with your partner with? about, and really decide what new muscle you want to grow in your relationship as far as maintenance and, well, really the perpetuation of your relationship versus going to divorce court, and having things get worse. So think about that, and any comments are welcome. Ta-ta!